Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. You can see different types of plants everywhere. They differ in size, color, smell, shape, and even in their mode of reproduction. Like animals, plants need to continuously reproduce themselves. Some reproduce through their seeds, while some utilize other means. Now, let us learn about the male and female reproductive parts of flowering plants. That is the female part, and that is the male part. Male reproductive part of flowering plants. Stamen is the male part of a flower. It consists of the filament and the anther. That is the anther, and that is the filament. The anther consists of two lobes that contains pollen sacs. And the filament holds the anther in a position tall enough to release the pollen. Female reproductive part of flowering plants. Carpel is the female part of a flower. That is the stigma, the style, and the ovary. Ovary contains of one or more ovules. Each ovule has a female gamete. Flowers that contains both male and female reproductive parts are called bisexual flowers. Sunflower, rose, and lily are some of the examples of bisexual flowers. And flowers that contains either male and female reproductive parts are called unisexual flowers. Cucumber, papaya, and watermelon are some examples of unisexual flowers. For fertilization to take place, pollen grains need to be transferred from the stamen to the stigma. If the transfer of pollen grains takes place in the same flower, then it is called self-pollination. If the transfer of pollen grains takes place from one flower to another, then it is called cross-pollination. This transfer of pollen grains is done by wind, water, insects, or animals. After the pollen grain lands on the stigma, the tube cell produces a pollen tube through the style into the ovule. And the male gametes travel along with the tube nucleus through the pollen tube. After reach the ovule, one of the male gametes fuses with the female gamete leading for fertilization. Fertilization leads to the formation of zygote. And the other gamete fuses with the polar nuclei to eventually form endosperm. The zygote divides multiple times to form an embryo within the ovule. The endosperm provides nourishment to the embryo. And eventually, The ovule develops and turns into a seed. Thank you for listening.